Is it De Jong Day yet? Is it De Jong Day yet? No? All right then. Don't wake me up then. Oh, it's the football power hour. We just napping, hoping to wake up to where here we go. De Jong is coming to Carrington. Is it De Jong Day yet? Is it De Jong Day yet? Man, that's the day I'm gonna blow some air horns like there's never been air horns before. But while we waiting on Frankie, here's the thing: the excitement for the Premier League starting is just kind of just spreading like Vecna right now. It's just kind of like, you know, it's pretty much Thursday today. That means we go to sleep, we wake up, we watch Arsenal get demolished by Crystal Palace. Anyway, today we're talking about a few things. Taking a knee. That's a norm that's going to stop at every kickoff game, at every beginning of every game. Um, it's going to be in a few select games, but we're talking about that. We're talking about Chelsea with that big energy. I know. I titled this stream BDE, but I'll explain in a second. We'll get to that, and then the last thing we'll talk about is just online abuse. And so anyway, so real quick. So taking a knee, right, has been the norm. It's been a tradition for quite a lot of like all the games last season and the season before. So it came sort of like coming off of the wake of supporting the Black Lives Matter movement, and we had so many like police brutality cases that were happening in the US and around the world, and like that sort of like brought the mic closer because I'm really passionate about this topic more than Manchester United, really. But it's just more like the custom came about as supporting, just showing support and raising awareness to like say, hey, we're standing together against discrimination, which is a beautiful thing, which is an amazing thing that I feel like needs to be, you know, spread around the world. But here's what I'm gonna say about this new change. When I was reading about it initially, my first reaction was, hold on, what the hell? Them captains just voted against that. But then then I understood that like, okay, it's happening at very select like games, and that sort of like makes initially then I kind of like rejudged that initial reaction, and I was like, okay, it kind of makes it a little bit more purposeful, a little bit more like refined in terms of just like, okay, this is not a message that just like, first of all, there's a little bit of a spectacle to it. Let's just say that about it. First of all, where spectators are there seeing players taking a knee, and I believe like it's gotta be like an invitation to some spectators that can, if they want to take a knee as well, and then that kind of even makes it grow. And I believe it's like something that should have actually manifested itself in like say even FIFA, you know you know so that them kids all around the world know why and what's happening, and that's sort of like it spreads the awareness that way. But anyway, we'll wait for FIFA 23 and see what happens. But I hope that that custom does not die down, because we cannot stop raising enough awareness about this. So anyway, I want to just read you guys a little excerpt that from the article that I was reading. It says, players from ESPN, by the way, players will take the knee during the opening match round of the season, dedicated to No Room for Racism match rounds in October and March, Boxing Day fixtures following the conclusion of the FIFA World Cup 2022, Premier League matches on the final day of the season, and the FA and EFL Cup finals. So it's making it more like on the matches that are really, really, really where everybody is like paying attention. So I guess that kind of like makes it a little bit more like less cheap popcorn type message, and a little bit more like that's how I'm taking it anyway. But I don't know, I'm interested to see how other people feel about it. But the thing is, like, as long as the captains, like, edit the statement that we have decided to select significant moments to take the knee during the season to highlight our unity against all forms of racism, and in doing so we continue to show solidarity for a common cause. We remain absolutely committed to eradicate racial prejudice and to bring about an inclusive society with respect and equal opportunities for all. All right, all right, all right, all right. The PA media people did that job right there. But I hope it's actually they believe it, with every fiber of that being, and it's just something that, like, we just kind of just like, oh, we're just kneeling. That moment is actually a moment to reflect on victims who have lost, that we know about, that were filmed, came up in the media, blah 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 blah, and the ones that we don't know about, and the victims that are still gonna be there because of the system that's still active, unfortunately, you know. And we have to just figure out also how we can, like, use those feelings to affect change into that injustice. So um by the way, the earth has been spinning a lot faster than usual, and actually this summer we had one of the shortest days ever recorded, and it was actually 1.59 seconds shorter shorter, than the normal than the normal day. So it's like one of those things where it's just like, I feel like it was Cristiano's feeling that and being like, oh man, the earth's spinning fast. Yo, guys, let's go. screw the 80 minutes, no, whatever, screw the next like 20 minutes or 15 minutes of the game. We out. Let's beat traffic. I want to go to the recovery tank, man. That whole saga, real quick, we'll get to that in a second. But anyway, i I just want to just close the button on that and just say that, like, um we cannot forget that injustice about police brutality, and we need to figure out ways we can, me and you, whether even if it's a little awareness thing, where you just kind of just like, figuring out how to, like, affect changes in a small way. It doesn't have to be like, all right, let's go, like, you know hold up, protest against this, like, police precinct or what, I don't know, that can work. That could be something, as long as there's something like that, that's actually, like, an active, and clear, direct, definite, objective. That's the kind of protesting that I really, I'm into, where it's just kind of like, that's why I'm highlighting the fact that we can all make a change in our all little small microcosms around the world. Anyway, so moving on. Chelsea out here showing that B.D.E energy. So you can already guess what the D is. You know what I'm saying? Because that's literally when I heard that song. I guess Mariah Carey's "Fantasy," and then I believe the name is Lotto. It could be called Big Energy or something like that. I don't know. But it's like a recent song that just like sort of like sample that, and like these Mariah Carey in the remix with DJ Khaled, like anyway, screaming. But anyway, so anyway, I always thought like that lyric was something that it wasn't. But anyway, Chelsea, my friends, is out here showing that BD energy. All right, so first of all, they have been shown the BD energy by Barcelona, right? And then now they coming into the Premier League like, yo, we've been abused and abused, and here we are trying to just like boss everybody around. First of all right, let's just remember Chelsea, right? Wanted, Rafinha. Rafinha ended up in Barcelona. Chelsea. There was a little quick rumor about Chelsea and Lewandowski. Lewandowski ended up in Barcelona. Kunde ended up in Barcelona. Christensen is now in Barcelona. Frank Kessie now in Barcelona. Man, I can keep going, but like Chelsea's out here, like they've been abused and abused, and in the shores, right there in the streets of Catalonia in Barcelona, and they out here now exerting that energy in the Premier League. All right, they out here just like linked with De Jong. We know Chelsea. You don't want to pay that 17 million. You're just trying to make life difficult for us because like you're trying to clear out that top three, top four spot because it's looking a little congested right now. You know what I'm saying? So so Chelsea's out here. Um, Hijacking Manchester City's Cucurella. Pep is like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, what are we gonna do? He's literally Pep and his team are looking at that alternative list right now for fullback positions because, like, Cucurella, we know the facts that he had handed in um transfer requests trying to get that Manchester City move going, and then Chelsea out of nowhere were like, yo, we got this check right here. And we also in the Champions League, fight, and we trying to, we trying to like build. And they sold him the project and he bought it. And so, it's one of them things where I'm just like, hold on, it's crazy to observe how the transfer department in general of most Premier League teams are moving right now, and obviously, we know how some departments are not moving right now. Man, the young day. I feel like there's gonna be so much if it happens, the day it happens, right? There's gonna be so much pressure on him that the homie might not. He just anyway. Let's stop right there. We're gonna move on to so there was this report that was being talked about from Ofcom on Sky Sports. Shout out to Sky. I didn't know that was a sound effect that was gonna come out, but anyway, this is a fun little situation that I have going on. But we're gonna have more fun this season. So anyway, the online abuse is something that, like, here's the thing: there's no room for any kind of abuse. First of all, period. So when you hide behind a keyboard and say some stuff because you think that you cannot be found, first of all, you can be found, you know and like the thing about it is, like, it's a world where we're about to like slowly evolve into where people have already been doing time now for things that the fingertips and the key QWERTY keyboards did. They just kind of, or from the phones, they just kind of just were like, and then that's what happens. Like that is literally like, careful what you say. And so the thing about like online abuse, I feel like the optimist in me feels like a lot of people not a lot. Some people that like fall under the blanket of online abuse come at a point at it from an angle of in a humorous way, but like sometimes maybe because of like, you know, just the hiding behind that anonymous shield, they kind of maybe can tap into like the vulgar sides, and they don't need to do that. You can still like, make fun. You can still, critique someone. You can still, you know uh uh troll someone in a respectful way, in a funny way. It's like when you're growing up. I grew up with a lot of siblings, and there was all kinds of like back and forth, banter of like, blah 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 blah, and we know it's all just blah 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 at the end of the day. Bish bash bish bash, woof, woof, you know and it's all just done under the umbrella of like, we know we love each other. We know we recognizing that we're people and we exist, and like we can coexist with our different feelings and opinions and interest and blah 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 blah, whatever it is that blah 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 is based on. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but it was just a little sad to me that there were 2 million tweets from last season, that were like analyzed in the first 5 months of last season, that led them to like make these like data analysis that I was just like, hold on. First of all, it means there's 2 million haters out there, or 2 million idling, you know, hands that are just like, for no reason or for whatever reason, just like spreading some kind of negative energy. Like, come on. Do you know that like the energy you put out is the energy you get back? So CR7 had over like 12,500 abusive tweets. Harry Maguire over 8,900 abusive tweets. Marcus Rashford over 2,500. Come on now. Come on. I don't think they deserve this. I don't think like anybody deserves this. I feel like the energy you put out is the energy you're going to get back one way or the other. I do not want to wish anybody to be hit by a bus or whatever, but like, you know, or something unfortunate happens to your loved one or you, it's just like sometimes you have to think about like things in that way and be like, hey, you know, I'm just going to be the best version of myself and be the best person I can be, so that the best things are, everything around me becomes the best thing of itself. And then it just kind of just like, it's like, it's a whole best, you know what I'm saying? So you build that best, it's not something that like, you it's just you just fall into, or just like obviously like there's like a lot of like, I have a lot of like spiritual guidance, that like is obviously like ingrained in sort of my upbringing of just like, all right, I was raised with some like family and community values and morals that like I try to always like channel, and some of that is like, hey, treat everybody that's older than you like your parent. It doesn't mean it doesn't matter if they're 3 years or 5 years older. Anyway, whatever. Online abuse should not exist. No room for online abuse. Okay. All right. And then, all right. So the other thing that I wanted to just talk about real quick is like yesterday, I had an Uber Eats mess up. This does not happen all the time, right? But I had ordered some Thai food. I believe it was uh, Phuket fried rice. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's some dope rice, right, with chicken, and Uber Eats. Person comes through, bah, gives me the food, and I just go upstairs, boom, lock the door. I'm excited, the anticipation, you know, it's been a minute, you know, it took a while. I was just watching on the map. But then so I get there and the food is not it's somebody else's order. I wait for a while to see if maybe I'll come back, maybe try some other orders, whatever. Like, but anyway, eventually I end up trying up this teriyaki chicken that was like, so that made me think about this real quick. We've been linked with Anthony for a while, right? We know we need to solve that right hand side situation and see what the Sancho replacement could be. So, we need to figure out that. So, and we've been obviously what's the word? I'd I'd say like we've been it's been the scramble for Ajax. Pretty much the way like those scramble for Africa, everybody's been like trying to take out all the talent that they can get out of Ajax, but it's been that. So now Anthony might not come because like Ajax is like outpricing it, just putting the price so high. So we know that the ZH rumor started yesterday or the day before or something like that, and they're gonna keep growing. And like, yeah, might not be a bad player to have, but Dupai also, once he gets that like free agency situation figured out with his lawyers, like he's gonna be rumored with the homie, so it's gonna be one of them things where with the homie Ten Hag, so it's gonna be one of those things where I just was just thinking like, okay, would you have Ziyech or Dupai? I don't know. I feel like they're the same in some ways, like players with limitations, players that can perform on moments, players that like obviously the skill sets are slightly different, like, but I mean they both can like whip a ball in, or like Ziyech has that like superpower left foot that like can go for the far post, and if you have a player attacking the far post, then you can make use of that. But then Depay, like obviously he had his little spark when like he was at the beginning of his like Barcelona, stint, and yeah, it's just a matter of like finding how to like keep that going, keep the momentum of that going. So it's one of those where I don't know. I'm like, and I know the rumor mill is gonna grow on that. So stamps, stamps, come here, buddy, come here, here, here. We gonna need the doctor to help solve this first. Come here, buddy. Come here. Look. Doctor Stamps. Come on. Here. Come, jump. Yeah, all right. This is Memphis Depay, Stamps, and this is Hakeem Ziyech. Here, come. Memphis Depay, Hakeem Ziyech. Who should we go for? Depay. Memphis. It's Memphis. All right. It was just a little. Seems we're going with Memphis. All right. Oh, hold on. Oh, some comments real quick before I end the stream. Hold on. What reminds Ziyech? Fast, versatile. Maybe Eric Ten Hag might get good at. What's up, AC Devils United? Yeah, let's hold on. We gonna give you some flowers real quick. Yeah, yo, big shout out to Maisie, my favorite. And okay, well. So if we gonna go with ZH, really, ZH over Dupai? Well, here's the thing. I mean, ZH obviously knows what Ten Hag is about. So there's that. We get ZH. We're already buying the hours that they've spent together on the pitch, and on the training grounds. So we're buying those hours, and with Memphis, we're buying the fact that maybe they can communicate in Dutch. And that's about it. And so okay, all right. I'm interested to see what other people think, but this is the end.
Much love.